EGM Network.
Welcome back to Classic Car Radio with Vero Beach. I'm Keith McDonald here with Mike Carano, Steve Charbonneau, and Todd Byron. Welcome back, guys.
Hey. Yep.
On our second half of the show. Now, you guys have all been waiting, anticipating a lot, and you were both clamoring. You were all clamoring for this next story.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait for this.
The baddest production muscle car V8 engine that never came. There's Pontiac's Ram Air 5. The Ram Air 5, I wrote about it in my book. Did you guys know I had a book?
You have a book?
I have a book, yeah.
And watch, it's going to come right up on the line.
Is it going to come up on the screen?
It should
I
come
hope
up.
not.
Wow. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. Anyway.
Plug that button.
There we go.
There it is.
The number one seller.
Yeah. Anyway, probably the not number one seller of Pontiac books, but I know which one is. Pontiac's powerhouse V8 engine. This is what was written in 1969 by Hot Rod Magazine. The reason I bring this up is because Hot Rod just today reprinted this 1969 article on their website. Well, reposted, I should say.
Right.
But this was in the magazine of May of 69. And they wrote, Pontiac's powerhouse V8 engine would turn out to be not so much more than a technical exercise for what production intended version would look like were it to come to fruition. I don't like the way the writer wrote that.
Right.
But by early 69, however, new draconian smog rules had already been issued by the government and for the new decade that was coming. So Detroit began backing away from the high performance stuff, as we all know. Although 1970 was the best year for performance, in my opinion. I don't know why they took it away in 69. So they wrote in 69, we've all heard about the coming of the judge. And in keeping with the performance demands of the young enthusiasts, that's the boomers, it's about to make a second debut, only this time it's with its own execution of the 400-inch tunnel port power plant. You might call it that a life sentence for other supercars. In addition, the judge's sister cars, such as the Firebird 400 and the regular GTO, will also house the big inch takeoff of the Pontiac's Trans Am Combatant. So this was the Ram Air 5. Now, there were two Ram Air 5s in existence. So when my book came out, I went to the GTO Nationals in Pontiac, Michigan,
Right.
and I saw both of them, both Ram Air 5s, very rare. They're both worth $1 million now. But a guy from North Carolina, very well-to-do man, he bought that one of those. It was like a chocolate-colored car,
right.
Ram Air 5. Now, the book I wrote about Milt Shornack, he said that they had a bunch of those tunnel port Ram Air manifolds in Royal Pontiac, where they did the Bobcat engines and stuff, and they were all on a shelf, and General Motors said, get rid of them. And they're like, what? And they threw them all in a dumpster.
Get out of here.
They threw them in a dumpster. So when he left work that day, he grabbed a Ram Air 5 intake, tunnel port Ram, put it in his car, put it in that chocolate 69, and held on to that forever.
That's great.
Until he sold it. But the other one was the actual test car for the Ram Air. And that's like a crystal turquoise, the color was called. And that one is a true Ram Air 5 that did come from the factory. Only one in existence, except for the one that Milt Shornack when he stole the tunnel ramp. So that's an interesting story about.
So
they never could release it because of the government mandates, and General Motors tried to back down on the high performance stuff. But the weird part about all that, and I don't understand, is then they came out with the LS6 like a few months later. This is May of 69. The LS6 was released in September of 69 for the 70 model year. So, I mean, why did Pontiac lose the tunnel port Ram Air 5?
Right.
But they still have the LS6 come out. It's unexplainable to General Motors back then, I guess.
They just wanted Pontiac to fail.
But I'll tell you what.
Tell who you know.
They wanted Pontiac to fail. They didn't want Pontiac to be a Chevy.
You know why? Because John DeLorean, who invented the GTO, basically. Right. He did so well with the GTOs that he was rewarded by General Motors and made the head of Chevrolet in '69. Gotcha. So the tunnel port got thrown out, and John DeLorean was running Chevy. And, you know, DeLorean's a performance guy.
Yeah, he wanted the power back.
And he probably bitched and moaned and got his LS6 put into those Chevelles.
Beautiful.
You know? Anyway, that's a little automotive history for you. But, yeah, I think DeLorean is probably behind getting that LX6 put in, even though they were cutting back on performance. And what a car. Right, Todd? You know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Todd's a big Pontiac guy.
What was
Absolutely not.
Now, if you wanted to really look, I mean, you've got to be a Pontiac guy to actually do it, but it's at hotrod.com, and it's one of the top stories on their website right now. But if you want to look at, there's 10 different photos you can see of the tunnel port Ram, what it looked like. Huge round ports. Most Pontiacs were D ports. These are all round port intakes, big round port intakes.
They look huge.
Yeah. So anyway, that's your story, and let's see. You want to check it out on hotrod.com.
So if you can find one, it's probably worth money.
Oh,
if you could find one.
I doubt you could.
Yeah.
Man,
I don't know why people don't make
the
them.
Inside scoop on all of them getting thrown in a dumpster. You could have scarfed some of them up.
It was in my book. No, it was in my book. He said they came down for General Motors, throw those out, get rid of them, throw them in the dumpster.
I can't believe none of the mechanics would take one home.
Well, he was the only one. There was only like 2 guys in the performance area of Royal Pontiac, Royal Oak.
Right.
They were the only ones that had the tunnel ports so far.
Oh, okay.
And so when they gave that order, he threw them out. Now, the other guy that took him, I interviewed him for the book, and he said, no, I did not get one. But he had a lot of great stories, too. He's in the book as well. Gotcha. I forget his name, unfortunately. But
man, I would.
All right, see, it must be a good read, that book.
Thank you.
What book's that?
Well, the Pontiac guys seem to like it.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the story of the tunnel port Ram Air 5 that never happened.
Nice.
Kind of happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost happened.
Almost happened.
Now, what else you got going?
Well, we got some history.
You got plenty of time.
Yeah, we got plenty of time. Yeah, we're not going to have enough time today. I didn't get a heck of a lot of Tech Talks questions. So you guys can talk about this stuff all you want.
Go ahead.
February 3rd, 1962, the Cuban trade embargo started. President Kennedy banned all trade with Cuba, including automobiles. So, so that's why you see all these cars up to 62.
Right. And they have boat engines in it. They got boat engines. They got everything.
Remember that show Cuban Steel that was on?
Cuban Chrome.
Cuban Chrome.
Yeah.
And it was all these cars, and they were putting boat engines in those cars, everything they could find to keep these cars on the road. Yeah,
and I saw all these cars in Cuba when I went there. And
I know, yeah. You put some pictures up.
It was just tough, man, because they don't have unleaded gas there.
Yeah.
They have regular leaded gas, and it's just, oh, man. Sitting in those cars.
Yeah.
We had a couple of people that did a tour with them, and they said they couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
It was that bad.
Right.
Because you don't know what kind of engines are in them.
Right.
They put anything they could find in there, and they make their own parts.
Yeah, they do. Yep.
I think some guys now still they sneak stuff in. I'm sure they're going to be able to get.
Well, they can get them out of Canada.
Right.
They can order them out of Canada. But they have to come to the United States, up to Canada, and then get transferred to Cuba.
The problem is when it gets to Cuba, all the big money guys that have the really nice cars, they happen to get those parts whether they ordered them or not.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
That's what's going on over there.
And now you got to pay some tariffs, bro.
Right.
Now, here's another thing, too. All these, climate change people, they don't realize what's happening down in Cuba. They don't have any emissions down there. So it's just 90 miles south of Florida.
No emission. We
got no emissions, and all that stuff's just puffing out into the atmosphere. Well, Cuba's nice and clean. No, the air is not that clean. No.
When you pull
in, they got power plants burning coal and all that stuff.
When you pull in with the ship to Havana Harbor, it's like pulling into an oil slick.
Yeah.
The ocean is crystal clear. As soon as you pass the big statue with the arms, it's oil. And it just stinks. You could just light a match and throw it in the water to light up. I think that's how bad it is.
Yeah. So there you go. So all these environmentalists want to go down to Cuba.
Yeah.
Go move to Canada to get away from Trump, and then become Canadian citizens, and then go down to Cuba.
Maybe we'll buy Cuba. I mean, he's buying everything else. Might as well just, he's going to buy Greenland, Panama. Now we're into what?
Yeah.
The Gaza Strip now?
Yeah. Gaza,
take
we're
over,
gonna...
take over Cuba.
What the hell is
a lot
going
better
on?
weather down there.
We're going to have 60 states here soon.
Yeah.
Never know.
All right, what's the
Yeah, I
next
wish he'd knock off that 51st state of
funny,
Canada.
though.
It's kind of funny.
And
But he said it enough times now where it's really kind of like, okay, all right.
but
all right.
it's funny enough that it's driving the other side completely
right.
crazy.
Oh, yeah, that's
That's
true.
why he says this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And they take it literally, and they right away have a press conference. You got that Chuck Schumer out screaming like a lunatic.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So.
It's great.
He wasn't the only one.
Yeah.
Liz Warren got up there, too. She was really good.
You know, it's really nice being on the Patriot on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What else you got?
Yep.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Getting deep.
All right, that's Cuba. February 4th, 1922, Ford Motor Company purchases the bankrupt Lincoln Motor Company for $8 million, which pays off some of Lincoln's creditors.
Right.
So there you go. Ford bought Lincoln, and they still make them to this day.
Yep.
Imagine that. And that was what?
1922.
103 years ago. And they bought it, and they still have it.
Yep.
Yeah, they never really got rid of Lincoln.
Two more. Good.
Well, I'm kind of hoping you guys would talk more about this stuff.
We're going to go
But
to
you
commercial.
want to push. No, we don't. It's only 11.
Good.
All right. February 7th, 1938, the founder of Firestone Tire and Rubber Company, Harvey Samuel Firestone, dies in Miami Beach at the age of 69.
Wow, he's young.
Young guy, yeah.
Being around all that rubber.
Yeah, he breathed too much rubber.
Too much rubber.
Yeah, too much rubber. You know, it's probably not too far from the truth. Because rubber's made with oil, again.
Yeah.
Oil and a bunch of carbons.
Oh, yeah. February 8th, 1985, Sir William Lyons, also known as Mr. Jaguar. Do we have that?
Yeah.
Jaguar. The founder of Jaguar, he died in Warwickshire, UK.
Oh, groovy, baby.
That's the Jaguar.
Yeah.
There you go.
February 8th, 1985, Sir William Lyons, of course his name was Sir. He was knighted for probably making so much money.
And Jaguar.
I don't know. They didn't say in this thing. It just said he died in 85. But it didn't say how old he was when he died.
Right.
Easy enough to look up, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, now we'll go on break. What do we got? 12 and a half minutes? Yeah, we're good. Just trying to, discuss these things. Thank you, Steve. Sure. Appreciate that.
Steve's right in there.
All right, so we are Classic Car Radio on the Patriot. 107.9 FM and 1370 AM. We'll be right back.
Nobody outpowers America, and nobody outperforms the lawnmowers and power equipment at More Motors. Discover great products made in the USA by Bobcat, Hustler, Cub Cadet, and Steel Power Equipment. All backed with local service and parts. Going on 40 years serving the Treasure Coast. More Motors has an American-made lawnmower for you. 5135 US 1 Vero Beach. Anything and everything it takes to make tall grass short. More Motors.
It's time to call Easy Brew Coffee and Bottled Water Service and learn just how much you can save and how convenient it is to have your coffee and bottled water delivered right to your home or office. In addition to water coolers, Easy Brew offers individual bottles of water in 8 or 16-ounce bottles. No more lugging it home or dragging it into the office. Serving the Treasure Coast for over 2 decades, 2 letters, 1 simple name. Easy for Easy Brew. Visit e-zbrew.com or call 800-792-3285. Easy Brew.
Winner of the Tony Award for Best Play, Masterclass, takes you into the world of opera legend Maria Callas. Hear her life-altering lessons as she teaches, inspires, and challenges her students. Based on real-life classes Callas delivered at Juilliard, this is a glimpse into the soul of one of the 20th century's most celebrated artists. Her voice, her artistry, her legacy. Masterclass is now playing on the beautiful Waxlack stage at the Riverside Theater. Tickets available now at the box office or online.
When the check engine light comes on, turn to Treasure Coast Auto of Vero Beach. Time for an oil change? Turn to Treasure Coast Auto of Vero Beach. Brake work, alignments, maintenance, and more? Turn to Treasure Coast Auto of Vero Beach. Your certified service center specializing in alignments, repairs, oil changes, radiators, brakes, even auto electric repair. Just east of US 1 at 1212 23rd Street, Vero Beach. Turn to the local mechanics you can trust. Treasure Coast Auto of Vero Beach.
Welcome back to Classic Car Radio. What are you saying
keep
now?
going. Keep going.
What?
Yo, bro, let's get this thing on the road.
Come on, I even changed my glasses. Let's go so I can
You
read.
can read now.
All right.
go.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
Said it was
Look at
yours.
that.
Let's go.
All right. Last week we kind of missed Fred. Fred, sorry, from Merritt Island. You had a question, and
We got background noise. What's going on?
What's that noise?
This guy like chickens over there. Go ahead.
wait till they hear this on the radio. They'll love it.
Yeah,
They'll turn us out because they'll think it's static. It sounds like static to me. So. Fred from Merritt Island says,
Go ahead.
how old are you?
Go ahead. Come on. Come on.
How old are you? All right, Fred from Merritt. I have headers in my 68 Camaro, which are only quarter inch from the starter. This causes the starter, of course, to get hot. Restarting is difficult. Some of the late model cars have mini starters that are compatible and can be sourced at the salvage yard. But what years are compatible for a 327 with a turbo transmission? Anyone know offhand?
I just got 2 starters from Summit.
Yeah.
You know, Power Masters mini starters.
Minis?
Yeah,
They work great.
That's all I
It's
have.
a high torque.
The one that's in your Nova right now?
Yeah.
Not working great at all?
Yeah, because I just changed the flywheel.
Oh, the flywheel was wrong,
That'll all be back together tomorrow.
Oh, there you go.
And the bolts will be
So they
tightened
sent you the wrong
and-
flywheel, right?
Yeah, they sent me the wrong
Is that
flywheel.
a 327 also?
No, that's a 350.
Okay.
With a
Are you going to shim it?
No, I'm not shimming it. Last time somebody shimmed the starter fell out of the car.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't the shim's fault. Don't bother. Don't blame the shim.
Did you have an ASC certified technician?
It was an ASC certified technician.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
These are expired 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
If they weren't photoshopped.
So yeah, you could definitely call Summit and get the Power Master starters.
He learned that stuff off my cousin Vinny. Okay.
Yeah.
That's how. Yeah.
Go ahead. What's the
All
next
right.
one?
Use an aftermarket starter like a Titan with a Moroso starter heat shield. That's
just
even good.
Or
good
just
idea
get the
too.
Power Master. It'll work
Right.
fine.
Okay.
Power Master 900.
Boy,
I
are
think
you
it
in a
is.
rush?
They got a lot of them in there.
Dave in Vero Beach asked, guys, I want to get some opinions on my 75 Camaro. I want to sell it. It's in primer. It was strip sealed and primed. It's a numbers matching 75. That's not a big deal, but I guess it is. Factory 4-speed, all original, 42,000 miles. Underbody is in great shape. I replaced both rockers because they were both dented. You'll need to get the interior redone. So what do you think is a good asking price? And what do you think? If it needs an interior,
For what?
needs paint.
To buy it?
To buy it,
He wants to sell it.
I'd say about 7.
7?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
7, okay.
Yeah, about $7,000.
I looked it up, and guess what?
What?
It said 7.
Get out! Did it really?
I swear, yeah.
Yeah, it's about 7.
So you guys are all correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Very
Cool.
good, guys. You know your cars. Okay, damn. What's the bad part about 75 Camaro? Anyone?
It has bumpers.
No,
It does have them, don't
it
they?
does, yeah.
Has that
Chrome with
little
the black
chrome,
strip.
But what's
Yeah,
the other?
yeah.
What's the other thing?
I don't know. Did it have 305 in it or 350?
It had 350s.
What, 180 horsepower?
No, well, that was bad too. No, you couldn't get a Z28 in 75. They
Right, they
dropped the
didn't come out-
Z28,
Yeah,
75, and 76.
It came back in
Came
77.
back in 77,
because
yeah.
I had a 77 Type LT,
Yeah.
which was pretty quick.
Now, I went to buy a Camaro Z28 and 75, and the dealer said, they didn't make one this year. I said, what? How could you not make a Z28? Well, that was General Motors. That's how I ended up with a 75 Trans Am,
Yeah.
because I couldn't get the 75Z. So I would have been a Chevy
you
guy.
remember that far back?
And,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
the
Wow, I'm
graphics on
impressed.
that Z are horrible.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we can't remember 5 minutes ago.
I know. That's why I said I'm impressed.
Thank you.
I'll
Thank you.
give him some props on that one.
There you go.
I even know what I paid. $5,013 for that Trans Am.
Wow.
Yeah, 400 4-speed, bird on the hood,
See?
raised white letters,
He had his memory
rally
pill
2
there.
wheels.
Can't call him Biden.
No air
Don't you wish
conditioning.
you had it today?
Oh, I sure do. No air conditioning because it was up north. FM
Why, that
mono.
doesn't get-
FM mono, but I had the rear speaker.
It doesn't get hot up north, so you didn't need air
No,
conditioning?
not living near the ocean, a nice breeze
Well,
all the
hey,
time, you know?
I remember when I was first starting to drive, a lot of cars that came down from up north didn't have AC.
Yeah.
Right.
Because my 84 Z28 didn't have air.
Well, you also got to remember this is me, 19 years old.
Yeah, because
I don't want AC because I want more power.
AC was an option.
Yeah, AC was like power. It drains your power. You don't
Yeah.
want AC.
Yeah.
Then I took a vacation in Florida with my buddy, and we were dying down here. It is so hot in that car. Anyway, Dan and
Port St. Lucie.
Dan in Port St. Lucie says, Todd, he wants you, Todd.
Yeah, me.
I have a 73 Challenger. Do you know where I can buy a complete exhaust system using stock factory exhaust manifolds, dual exhaust car mufflers with no resonators? Do I need to go to an exhaust shop? You can go, what? Get them from Jegs,
You
right?
can get them through pipes.
Pipes?
Pipes,
Yeah,
pipes are
pipes.
probably good.
Jegs,
sound pretty good.
Summit, Year One. They all have them, right?
There's a lot of different companies out there.
Pipes that has like the good exhaust systems and they sound pretty good and they actually fit pretty well.
And
Yeah.
they have the stock. He's looking for the stock exhaust manifolds.
Well, he's
though, right?
probably looking for,
I
for
thought
the
he had
manifold.
stock
No, he
exhaust
has
ones.
stock manifolds.
Oh,
He has
okay.
stock factory,
Yeah,
but he
should
wants
be
to
able
go to
do it.
dual. But he can go with a lot with 2.5-inch pipe all the way if he wants, right? Or
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, they got
Not
different
3.
side,
And if
stuff
he
in there.
buys the exhaust, he can always bring it somewhere and have the little pipes made to fit the manifolds.
Yeah.
Right, that's true.
Because I just had to do that in my truck because I put headers on the 454 truck
Mhm.
and the Y pipe didn't fit. So Fred over at AC Automotive hooked me up and did some nice collectors and made him hook up to the pipes.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Very nice, yeah.
So there you go for that one.
All right, there you go. You can also get them, take a little longer. You can get them from Napa, and then you would have to do a lot of fitment stuff. But
Hey, I was going to tell him where not to go for the Dodge Challenger for exhaust.
would that be Napa? Would that be Napa? Would it be Napa?
No, some shop going north.
Oh, I know. Yeah, come on. Mike went to that shop once.
That exhaust system.
Yeah, his tailpipes, one was longer than the other, from what I understand. All right, Van down at Fort Pierce. I ordered identical to the original lug nuts for my 71 Chevelle 454 SS. Nice. And to replace the aftermarket wheels and wheel nuts. They are 2-piece, and after installing the outer shell, they fell off several times. Were the originals 1 or 2-piece? Thank you.
Originals are all one. Go to Gorilla and buy some Gorilla lug nuts. They're all one piece. They won't come off. They're solid lug nuts.
But I remember there was like a jacket on those Acorn nuts back in the 70s.
Yeah.
There was like a tin. It was almost like white metal.
Yeah, it's just a tin cover.
Yeah.
But yeah, just buy yourself a good set of the Gorillas. They'll come solid and they won't fall off.
Okay. Yeah, I got rid of those quickly on my GTO. I went and bought chrome for my rally wheels.
Just make sure they're not hollow like the Ford lug nuts where they twist and you can't get them on and off.
Right.
Yeah.
Stupidest, cheapest
I remember having
design.
trouble busting tires when I was a kid, with those lug nuts. They were just,
All righty.
All right, what do you
Back
got?
then, not just wagon
Go
wheels.
over that AACA.
Yeah,
Well, I
the
thought he
40, the 40,
chiseled them out of concrete.
Yep. The 46th Annual Antique Automobile Show, Saturday, March 15th, 2025. Auto show starts at 10, goes to 4. Registrations from 8 to 11. You can pre-register by going to the indianriver.aaca.com.
Right.
And that's good. The 46th, 19 judging classes. And if your car is 1920 or older, you get in for free.
Wow.
This weekend's the Super...
Wait, call Maul. You can call, if you want more information, call Bill Maul, 772-584-1842.
There you go.
That's the same year I was born, 1842.
Pretty much.
1840.
Yeah.
This weekend, the Super Swap Meet up in Mopar, presented by the Mopars of Brevard, up at Wickham Park, and that's Friday, February 7th, the Swap Meet. Saturday, February 8th, the Swap Meet and Car Show. That's this weekend, and don't forget about McKee Gardens.
McKee Garden Red Car Show up
Red
there.
Car Show on
40
Saturday.
red cars.
40 red cars.
For $20. It's $2 a piece.
Resale red.
All right. We are Classic Car Radio. Thank you very much for listening. We're on every Saturday, 2 o'clock, right here on WAXE, The Patriot, 107.9 FM and 1370 AM.
Yeah.
We are out of here.
Peace. See ya.
That Patriot.